Hi, Taehyung lovers. Welcome back to the Taehyung Lovers channel for ARMY around the world. ARMY, don't skip. After shaking Toronto on stage, Kim Taehyung, Jungkook, and jhope were instead seen together at the gym. But is there really a surprising story behind this moment? In this video, we will discuss their gym moment, the ARMY camera borrowed by Taehyung, outro tear, his smile during 0 o'clock, taekook interactions, the touching hoodie story, and a selfie together with ARMY. And there is one detail from Toronto that you absolutely should not miss. Watch until the end and write in the comments which moment surprised you the most. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the bell, and make this video go viral so the world can see even more of Kim Taehyung's positive side, kindness, and charm. August 2026. Oh my gosh! Kim Taehyung, Jungkook, and jhope at the gym after the concert in Toronto, Canada. After shaking Toronto on stage, why were Kim Taehyung, Jungkook, and jhope instead seen together at the gym? While tens of thousands of ARMY were still carrying home the echoes of the BTS concert, a much simpler moment once again captured attention. Not the stadium lights, not the stage effects, and not spectacular choreography, but three global superstars who appeared to be going through their fitness routine after their series of performances in Toronto. If the circulating footage indeed shows the three of them at Woo Fitness, then the moment offers an interesting glimpse into BTS's life behind the stage, when the world spotlight pauses for a moment and they return to their routine to keep their bodies ready to face an extremely demanding tour schedule. However, there is one important thing that needs to be clarified. Based on the available official tour schedule, BTS performed at Rogers Stadium, Toronto, on August 22nd and 23rd, 2026, while the next concerts took place at Soldier Field, Chicago, on August 27th and 28th, 2026. Therefore, the story about the gym moment after Toronto needs to be placed within the correct time context and should not be mixed with the Chicago schedule. After a night filled with stage attention, music, ARMY screams, and incredible energy, the simple moment at the gym instead revealed another side of Kim Taehyung, Jungkook, and jhope's lives. The circulating footage shows a relaxed atmosphere at a fitness center referred to as Woo Fitness in Toronto. Details regarding the location and the identities of the people in the footage should still be treated as information from fan-recorded footage until there is official confirmation. But the appeal of the story remains strong. Three BTS members who had just performed on a stadium stage still took the time to maintain their fitness. And isn't this exactly the kind of thing that viewers often don't get to see? On stage, their bodies have to follow the choreography. Their vocals have to remain stable. Their energy has to stay high, and every expression is captured by tens of thousands of eyes and cameras. After the performance ends, those physical demands do not automatically stop. Therefore, when Taehyung, Jungkook, and jhope were seen at the gym, many fans viewed it as a small glimpse of the discipline behind BTS's massive performances. It is not only about exercising, but about how a performer takes care of their body when the world demands their best performance almost every night. Toronto itself left behind many stories that were much bigger than just the concert schedule. Toronto became one of the important stops on the journey of the BTS World Tour ARIRANG, before attention shifted to Chicago. Even Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker later designated August 27th and 28th as BTS Day in Illinois to welcome BTS and ARMY ahead of their two concerts at Soldier Field. But before Chicago took over the spotlight, Toronto had already left behind various moments that felt deeply personal. One of them was the moment when a fan's camera was borrowed by Kim Taehyung. In the circulating fan story, Taehyung took the camera and recorded a moment from a different perspective. Simple? Yes. But that simplicity is exactly what made it feel so special. A global superstar who can usually only be seen from a distance suddenly took a fan's camera and created a memory from a perspective that could never be provided by the stadium screen. Imagine being among thousands of ARMY, and then Taehyung suddenly uses your camera. Would you still be able to hold the camera with steady hands? Another moment that was no less interesting was when an ARMY shared a story that Kim Taehyung gave his hoodie to a young wheelchair user who was sitting several rows in front of them. According to the fan's story, The video was then shown to the young man's mother, who was said to still be very surprised and grateful to Taehyung. This story should of course be understood as a fan testimony and not as a fact that has been officially confirmed by BTS or their agency. But if the moment really happened as described, the true value is not in the hoodie itself, but in the meaning of a small act of attention in the middle of a concert witnessed by tens of thousands of people. Because sometimes, an action that lasts only a few seconds can become a lifetime memory. For most ARMY, that night may have been filled with music, lights, and spectacular performances. But for the young man and his family, if the story is true, one hoodie from Taehyung could become a much more personal memory than all the grandeur of a stadium. Then attention returned to Outro, Tear. The song holds a special place in BTS history and always carries its own emotional energy. In the circulating fan cam, Taehyung can be seen enjoying Namjoon's rap section. Small details such as his facial expression, the way he controls his breathing, and even the tension around his neck while performing that part became the focus of attention because the fan camera was able to capture details that sometimes cannot be seen on the big screen. Isn't a live fan cam sometimes more alive than the stadium screen? One camera captures an expression, another captures a movement, and another captures an interaction with a BTS member. From a certain angle, an ARMY can discover a moment that even most of the audience did not notice. That is the power of a fan cam. One concert can create thousands of different stories. Taehyung's reaction when the DJ played 0 o'clock also became one of the details that made fans smile again. One simple expression was enough to make ARMY cameras turn toward him once more. Amid the grand concept, spectacular choreography, and world-class concert production, BTS still has the ability to make small moments feel incredibly personal. And of course, the interaction between Kim Taehyung and Jungkook once again became a point of attention. One fan even said that this was the first time they had found a fan cam that truly focused on a taekook interaction. It may have lasted only a few seconds, but for fans, a certain camera angle can make a small moment seem much more meaningful. Every day brings a new perspective. Every camera discovers a different story, and Toronto once again proved that one BTS concert never has only one story. And before the night truly came to an end, Kim Taehyung once again took a selfie with ARMY. For the fan who managed to be inside that frame, a selfie may have lasted only a few seconds, but the result can become a memory kept for years. From the gym moment with Jungkook and jhope, the ARMY camera borrowed by Taehyung, the incredible energy during Outro, Tear, his smile when hearing 0 o'clock, the taekook interaction, to the hoodie story involving a young wheelchair user, every piece revealed a different side of Toronto. Toronto may have witnessed a massive concert, but for the ARMY who attended, they took home something more than just a performance. They took home smiles, interactions, fan cams, selfies, the songs Tear and 0 o'clock, and small moments that could never be repeated in exactly the same way. And perhaps that is why ARMY continues searching for new footage after the concert ends. Because what they are looking for is not always the biggest moment. Sometimes, one smile, one glance, one borrowed camera, one hoodie, or one brief interaction can become the story that is hardest to forget. Now attention is moving toward Chicago. BTS is scheduled to perform at Soldier Field on August 27th and 28th, 2026, while Illinois has even designated both dates as BTS Day in Illinois. But the Toronto story may not be over yet. When thousands of ARMY bring cameras and record from thousands of different angles, there is always a possibility that there is still one small moment that has not yet been discovered and that one day could instead go viral around the world. So now the question for ARMY is, which one surprised you the most? Taehyung, Jungkook, and jhope at the gym? The ARMY camera borrowed by Taehyung, Outro Tear, his smile during 0 o'clock, the taekook interaction, or the hoodie story involving a young wheelchair user? Write your answer in the comments, because perhaps, through your stories, we may actually discover the next Toronto moment that the world does not know about yet. Thank you for watching until the end. Taehyung lovers, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the bell if you enjoy this content. If you don't like it, feel free to skip it because Taehyung lovers never forces anyone. In your opinion, which moment was the most surprising in Toronto? Write it in the comments and don't forget to make it go viral so the world can see even more of Kim Taehyung's kindness and charm. Keep following the latest Kim Taehyung news only on Taehyung Lovers. Thank you and see you again.